He quit listening to me about 3 years ago.
Then I'm getting hearing aids in 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Perfect timing.
That ain't gonna help.
Some people get them hooked to their phones. Their hearing aids hooked to their
I know,
phone.
but it's delayed.
Okay.
My son-in-law said you don't like it. It's a little delayed.
Did you hear people talking?
Yeah.
They talk to themselves or what?
I can put it on. So I listen to earpods when I call him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tough thing there.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome you here. I'd like to ask that you please join me as we stand for a moment of silence, and we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I have roll call, please?
Tom Eggers,
Here.
Chantel Ostra.
Here.
Pete Hamill.
Here.
Ken Snyder.
Yep.
Brad Hess.
Here.
Next item up is approve the agenda. I'll take a motion for that.
So move.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hamill.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Ken.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
All right, our next item on the agenda is the public forum for anyone wishing to address the council. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak at this time? Yes, please state your name as you come up to the mic.
My name's Caleb Farrell. I'm here for the building of 420 North 2nd Avenue.
Okay. You want to address us now, or we can talk about it when we get to that point, but you're certainly welcome to speak now if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, I'm addressing the nuisance letter that we got, and we've been working on getting it cleaned up, and we have 15 days to do so, and we got another letter in the mail talking about this meeting and like the renewal project and stuff, and so I guess we're kind of confused on why that's getting sent out before our nuisance letter is even up to date, I guess, or before we're at the date on the nuisance letter. Because I know it talked about like tearing down the building and everything, us incurring charges, so we're just kind of curious about why that's being sent out already before our nuisance has even been addressed.
Okay, and I think what we'll do, we'll get into that discussion at that point of the agenda where we have it located, so,
Okay.
but thank you for your comments.
Yep.
Any other comments at this time? Okay, any written comments?
None.
Okay. Let's move on then to the consent agenda. I'll take approval for that.
Move to accept the consent agenda.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Ken.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Hamill.
Aye.
Snyder.
All right.
All right. Jumping down to new business, under the first item there, second readings. First of all, we'll begin with second reading of the ordinance amendment pertaining to liquor license and beer permits. Open the reading for that. Consider it open. Any comments? Any questions from the council? We need to move it on to third.
You don't really need third reading if you want.
Okay.
We have received no feedback on any of these 4 ordinances, so.
Okay, so,
Can we do them all in one motion, or you want separate ones?
Micah prefers for ordinances that you have separate
Okay.
motions.
I'll make the motion to approve the second reading and waive the third reading.
I'll support that.
discussion. Roll call, please.
Hamill.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Ken.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Moving on then to the second reading concerning public hearing requirements.
Move to accept the second reading and waive the third reading on the public hearing requirements.
Okay.
I'll support.
Roll call, please.
Ostra, Aye. Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
Eggers,
Aye.
Moving on then to the second reading of the ordinance pertaining to council compensation. Anyone care to make a motion to that one, towards that amendment?
Move to accept the second reading of the ordinance regarding council compensation and waive the third reading.
Support.
Okay, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers,
Aye.
Ostra, Aye. Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
And then the final item there is the ordinance, the second reading of the ordinance amendment pertaining to the mayor's compensation. Anyone want to make a motion to that?
I will make a motion to accept the second and waive the third.
Support.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Kent,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Hamel,
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers,
Aye.
All right, then we'll move on to item B, a first reading of the additional 2025 legislative updates. First item there is an ordinance amendment pertaining to false representation of service animals. Any comments, Sam?
There's differences in the Iowa code between service animals and assistance animals. Assistance animals are essentially, usually within the context of housing, and are sometimes known as emotional support animals. So this is a recommendation by Iowa Codification or Summary Inquiry based on recent legislation. It's not really being driven by anything that's occurred locally.
Okay.
Legislative update.
Do you recommend a second reading for that one?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Okay. Sam's recommendation is to move that on to a second reading. Anyone want to make a motion to that effect?
Make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? And roll call, please.
Kent,
Aye.
Eggers,
Aye.
Ostra, Aye. Hamel, Hamel.
Aye. Thank you.
All right, second item there is any ordinance, first reading of the ordinance amendment pertaining to conflicts of interest.
Say, I didn't say aye, she didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You missed me on that one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Snyder?
Aye.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's how legal that is or not, but we better say aye.
All right. Okay, moving on now then to the amendment pertaining to conflicts of interest. Any comments there?
Speaks for itself.
All right.
Motion to accept the first reading?
And move it on to the second?
Yes.
Okay.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder,
Aye.
Kent,
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Eggers,
Aye.
Okay, then we have, explain this a little bit to me, Sam. The motion to refer text amendment relating to the public hearing requirements for zoning and subdivision. We have to have a motion for that first, and then we have a reading? No.
There would be a first reading after planning commission review. So you're just referring this to the planning commission.
Oh, okay.
I could just put it on the planning commission agenda as a courtesy, and I think it's more respectful to the governing body that you know what's being requested. So this is one of the legislative amendments that came through, but it requires approval of the planning commission.
Okay.
Since it was part of the packet, I just added it to the agenda for an official formal motion to refer, but you are not passing first reading until
Okay.
after they consider it. That makes sense.
Yes. Any questions from any on that? We don't need to take action, so. All right, item C.
Well, I do recommend a
you
formal-
do recommend a motion.
I recommend a formal motion to refer it to planning commission.
Oh.
You just aren't approving first reading because you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I make motion to refer us to the public hearing requirements for the zoning and subdivisions to the P&Z Commission.
Support.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Eggers,
Aye.
Ostra. Aye. Hamel,
Aye.
Snyder?
Aye.
Kent?
Aye.
All right, item C is a resolution approving the adoption of the Northwest Iowa Safety Group, Chapter 28E addendum. Todd, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, sure thing. So as you may or may not know, we are in a 2080 agreement with Akron, Haywarden, Inwood, Orange City, Rock Valley, and Rock Rapids, and we share safety services with those communities and/or the municipal utilities via this 2080 agreement and a contract with the Iowa Association of Municipal Utilities. IMAU. Yeah, I'll take a deep breath now. Anyways.
Let me breathe now.
We've had that in place now for a number of years. It's been a really good program for our public works team, and it has vastly improved our safety. We've had reduced accidents, and we have all the proper documentation now, and there was a lot of years where we really didn't. So anyways, with that being said, we had our annual meeting the other day, and something that has hurt us in the past a little bit is our initial 2080 agreement allowed for quarterly leaving of the group, if you so chose to. As an example, we've lost over the years, Hinton, Remsen, and Sioux Center used to be a member. When they're allowed to leave quarterly, of course, the fees don't necessarily go down because you're paying for a position and the support. So it hasn't allowed us a lot of time to either change our fee structure or go recruit new members. So what we agreed upon as a group at our annual meeting is that we should reduce that to just, you can still exit and get out of the 2080, but only yearly, and that's what this amendment does. So all communities in there, or that were at the meeting, support the change. We just need official governing body action to make it real. So I would recommend you approve it. That's all I have, unless you have questions about it or our group.
All right, let's get it on the table. We'll take a motion to accept the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Support.
Any discussion or any questions for Todd? Roll call, please.
Eggers?
Aye.
Ostrov?
Aye.
Kent?
Aye.
Snyder?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
All right, item D now is the resolution authorizing advancement of costs of urban renewal for the 420 North 2nd Avenue project. All right, yes.
Thank you, Mayor. So, the excellent question was asked during public comment about why this item was put on the agenda before the 15 days was up, and the periods would have simply run concurrently. We're simply preparing for the possibility, and based on past issues, the likelihood, Todd and I predicted that maybe the issues wouldn't be resolved by the 15-day period, and we wanted to be able to move forward as quickly as possible. I did not have a chance to get out there today, but I understand that there have been some weeds removed, and cars are being moved, and if council would like, we can certainly give us more time to demonstrate progress. As far as a potential demolition, clearly there's a fair level of due process required in order to demolish anything, and it certainly wouldn't be my desire to demolish the building. When we heard that there were people living that was being lived in, that's good to know. So that would be a potential concern. So the resolution can certainly be tabled to a future meeting, and we can monitor the cleanup. I was asked this afternoon by a council member for reference on the cleanup price, and as a comparative, the cleanup a few years ago of a junkyard on Western Avenue was $16,475. So obviously $50,000 is a high-end number. We know that there's tires on the roof and vegetation growing over the sides, or we've been told that anyway. So, but I don't know if
So,
Anything to
Caleb,
add?
do you have any more questions? Or you want, I mean, we can just have a dialogue here if you'd like, or Corey, if you want to come. In either case, please step to the mic when you're, so we can get that.
Yeah, so addressing the vehicles that were, said to be junk in the nuisance letter, they're all licensed and they drive and stuff. There was 2 that weren't licensed, but they are no longer, on the premises. And when it comes to the utilities, I saw that it also said utilities are not on, but we do have electric and we have had it for several months at the building. Yeah, and nobody's living there.
Okay.
If I might.
Yeah.
So, automotive rentals, automotive sales, automotive repair services are allowed as principal permitted uses in the arterial commercial district. In terms of equipment sales, equipment repair, convenience storage, those uses require special exceptions from our Board of Adjustment. Okay, so if the goal is to have this be turned into a car lot or a storage lot or a salvage yard, if it's a salvage yard type operation, that requires actually a different zoning level. So there's concurrent zoning issues and there's concurrent nuisance issues. And we would just like to be able to just resolve this and remove the vehicles to the level that you had them removed previous to the influx. And I think we're good to go.
Yeah,
Is that fair?
I don't know a lot about anything, so if there is any farther questions that need to be, we would like to send it through our lawyer just to keep everything, because we don't want to say something that we're not supposed to, or not like, just. We are planning. Yeah. We are planning on selling the building, is kind of the current plan.
Okay. Do you have a time frame for that?
Selling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to get it sold here real soon, so
Okay.
hoping to get it listed soon, so
Okay.
I don't have a specific date for you.
No, but just kind of an idea. I mean,
Yeah.
and we're willing to work on it. If we know, it's nice to have this conversation, so.
Yeah.
Question I have for you, what is the date for the 15 days? 27th of this month?
27th of this
Okay.
month. And I feel like we've addressed a good amount of the nuisance letter so far. There's a couple little things that we have left to do, but, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, do you guys need the lawyer card or anything?
Yeah, that's the lawyer's card, I take it?
This is our lawyer's card.
Okay. Very good. I'm just thinking in terms of days, if we give this an extension, does 60 days seem reasonable to either of you?
60?
30? What are you thinking? I mean, we got to come up with, I'm just throwing that
Well,
number
I mean,
out.
Well, in terms of the original letter, or in terms of the
In terms
the
of what
urban
we-
renewal, the urban renewal resolution, we could just table that until we see progress on the 15-day letter.
Okay.
If cars are being moved around and not moved away, then there's going to be an issue. If they're being moved away, then I think this is going to work out just fine.
Well, so, yeah, that, just, you need the vehicles off the property is what you're saying?
Mhm.
Then that would satisfy the nuisance letter?
Corey, come forward, please. You can on the mic if you're going to talk.
Good question. What is allowed and not allowed? You know, 'cause cars are licensed and drivable.
Yeah, I don't know that
Do
this
you buy a house to park your car at the neighbors?
if I might. With Steve not being here and him being the originator of the original letter, I'd rather not get into the specifics in this setting. And I also really don't want to run up your costs by running everything through Nathan. If you want, we certainly can, I guess my thought would be is let's go ahead and the council's inclined, we can certainly move the, table the urban renewal resolution until we have further update and assurance that you're complying with the letter, and we can go from there. We certainly, yeah.
We're not going to take action on what's the resolution being proposed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's out there yet. At some point, we'll take action, but, and if we're seeing progress, you know, that's really what we're looking for. That's good. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, if you two could give Steve an update on the situation as soon as possible, that'd be great. Yeah, not with me, I'll get it to you.
Okay. All right, so with that explanation and that discussion, what is your wish as a council? Do you want to table this as Sam is recommending?
I would vote to table it.
That's
I
the
would-
motion?
I would second that.
For the 15, and re-examine it at the end of the 15 days, is what we were talking about, correct?
That's
don't
the
know.
nuisance
If it-
There's
violation.
no,
Yeah, if it needs to
So,
come back,
that's
it
just
would-
the nuisance
it would come back.
violation. Just
So
table
it
the
doesn't
whole thing.
necessarily need to be on a future council
Okay.
agenda. We'll bring it back to you if we need the funding to move forward with any.
All right, so then we will just table the
Abatement.
resolution for the time being. And no further action is required then, correct?
Right, so just to be clear, gentlemen, what the council is doing is tabling just the urban renewal resolution. The nuisance letter itself remains in effect.
All right,
And the nuisance violation is junk cars and motor vehicles and junk, correct? It's not the use of the building.
Right, it's currently confined to the junk.
Okay. Because
Because if the vehicle goes away, Brad, then, or the vehicles go away, then the zoning issue goes away. Unless
Okay.
they're living in the building, which they said they're
Okay.
not, so.
okay, so we are on a nuisance violation, not a zoning issue. Correct?
Well, it could be both, but if, again.
As of
if
right
it-
now-
As of today.
Yeah.
We noticed it just as a nuisance violation.
Okay.
Is that right, Todd? You're looking at your, yep.
yeah.
I just have a
Come forward.
question. What are we considering junk vehicles, and what vehicles are, like, we specifically allowed to have there? Like, are we just not supposed to have any vehicles there, or no trailers? Like, what are we allowed to have there so we can stay in compliance, I guess?
I might,
You may-
that's easy to address.
Okay, well, let Sam address it.
So I'm
then.
looking at the arterial, and I realize that I'm now talking about if it ends up becoming a zoning issue, because we're hoping to just avoid it becoming a zoning issue. But vehicle storage is a special exception use requiring a trip to the Board of Adjustment, which is a hearing by a separate board that's appointed by this board. Okay? So you're really not allowed to have significant vehicle storage. And we can have a negotiation, a discussion offline about how much you can have there. You've always had a few, and we haven't made an issue of it. But now you have quite a few. So let's take this part of it offline, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But you do have way too many.
So you want us to reach out to you, like, separate from this meeting? And
Well-
to talk about, like, what is allowed and what we can and cannot have? Because I just want to be more clear, so that way we don't have problems in the future. Because I'm just trying to avoid this happening again, and I just want to be very clear in what the rules are.
So may I talk to you directly, or you want me to run through Nathan?
For that, yeah, talk to us directly about that, and then if we don't feel comfortable answering, we'll refer it to our lawyer.
Okay,
Okay, but you are removing some vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's already some that are.
But for their clarification, what are we saying is junk vehicles? That was his question.
Yeah, the,
Okay, we had it
have to
before.
help me out here. It has to do with operational license.
So being licensed does not make it not a junk vehicle, right? It has to be functioning, it has to be operational. So as an example, there's a picture in here that Steve took of an F-150 with a topper on it that's probably operational, but it's sitting there with weeds all growing up underneath of it and it's got a flat left rear tire. That's not operational.
So all tires need to be up, and they need to be able to start and drive on their own.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't just say, I'm gonna fix it in a month, or I'm gonna fix it in 6 months, and just keep stacking them there. That's the idea behind the ordinance. It's not that you can't have a vehicle there that you're gonna repair and then it disappears if they're moving, but they can't sit there for months on end, and that's what's happening here right now, in our opinion.
Okay.
And then, to answer your question a little bit, just look through the pictures in the letter you got. Tires can't be there, the weeds growing up all over the place can't be there, the volunteer trees can't be there.
So if you can't get in and drive across town, it's a junk vehicle.
By definition, yes, and I know that might differ amongst people in this room, but by definition of the zoning ordinance, yes.
You can't drive down the road, it's junk.
I think there might be more to that, and you can maybe get into that with Steve, or we can have Steve get into that further with you, but for today's purposes, I think that's a pretty fair definition.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. So we can move forward. All right, let's move on in.
We call for the vote.
Yeah, there's a first,
Oh.
motion and a second to table.
Okay. Any further discussion on that motion to table this resolution? This action? Roll call, please.
Eggers.
Aye.
Ostra.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
All right, now we can move on into our reporting section of the meeting, starting with you, Sam. Anything you'd like to address council with?
Just want to remind everybody that our annual hazardous materials trailer, sponsored by the Sheldon Fire Company and the landfill, is next Tuesday. Last year, I believe, was close to an all-time record, so we're promoting it again this year. It'd be good to get dangerous stuff out of basements and garages. And the rest of the report speaks for itself. We're working on a Board of Adjustment meeting for October 8 and a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for October 9. A lot going on.
Todd, anything from you?
Sure thing. Couple of construction updates. Highway 18, which isn't our project, but yet it still obviously involves our community. So they were going to start asphalt overlay today, chose not to because of the chances of rains. As of now, they're scheduled to start asphalt overlay tomorrow. I think they plan to start towards the east end of the project and work their way in. They intend on using flaggers for that process, and it could take upwards of 7 to 10 days for the process to be over. So if you're going to use Highway 18 between 2nd Avenue and the east corporate limit of town over the next week and a half, expect some delays, plan ahead. They'll continue on the sidewalk work for, just call it another few weeks yet.
I was thinking.
Any questions on that before I move on? Okay, Western Avenue. About a month or so ago, Brad asked a question at a council meeting about Western Avenue progress and whether or not we thought we could make it for the year, and our response was, we certainly think they can yet, but we have concerns about the delays they've had. Those concerns have grown over the last month. They did pour about 1,000 feet of street yesterday, but it's becoming more and more evident that it's going to be much harder for them to make it to the end. As far as working days goes, they still have into early November by contract, and that will continue to extend with rain days potentially, but there's a strong sense amongst us that they may have to come back and finish next spring. So what we intend on doing as they go into the north phase from 10th Street further north, is not allow them, and the contractor has agreed to this, not allow them to go in and just tear out several blocks of road at one time. We're going to have them tear out enough road to go in and do the underground utilities, and then if the weather looks appropriate that they could get a couple of blocks paved, then go ahead and tear out a couple of blocks and pave. That way, if we do get stuck with an early winter storm or weather that stops them, at least we have 3/4 of a road to get us through the winter. It won't be ideal, but it'll be better than no road at all. There is still an outside chance they could make it, because as I just stated, they have over 8 weeks of actually working days left, but we just don't know what the next 8 weeks are going to bring. So if you get questions, that's currently the plan. As they phase into the next one, they will not tear out right away all of it from 10th Street all the way to the highway, as we've done in past phases. It'll be in small chunks, potentially small widths. That's it I have on Western, unless you have questions.
I do have a question, Todd.
Yes, sir.
Can the contractor provide a schedule of access to what's already been poured
So,
into, as far as property? What's the date you can get into this property? What's the date you can get into that property?
yeah,
Because it's been poured for quite a long period of time,
so
and the road's still closed for that section.
it is, and so they just actually, at our request, or I shouldn't say request, but push, they hired a subcontractor to come in and start following up behind them with cleanup activities, backfill, dressing up, so that we can start to get the road open quicker behind them. So, right now, the road closed signs are still just south of the South Rome driveway. I would hope that within the next week or so, that moves up to, say, the midpoint of the storage units, because the south half of that storage unit driveway has been poured for some time, has cure strength on it and can handle traffic now. They just need to backfill around there before they open it up to traffic, so to speak. The next phase, I would guess, based on the schedules they've given us, we're requesting weekly schedules from them now, but they're only as good as the day they give them to us, right? They change all the time after that. Probably a few weeks away from getting the next 1,000 feet open that they just poured. They'll start working on the driveways and those interconnects now. The pavers moved ahead.
Yeah.
So I would hope that we'll be past Rome when open here within the next week, and then you might be 3+ weeks behind before the next chunk is open.
Yeah, I just think that that's probably a growing level of frustration for those folks on that road when they're looking at new concrete pavement in front of them, but still can't access their properties, so.
Maybe they're not calling me, but beyond the storage unit users, I haven't got a lot of complaints, thank goodness. So maybe you guys are different, but nonetheless, I totally understand. I would be frustrated if I lived there as well. Our initial schedule had that road section open in July.
Right. Thank you for answering that.
Yeah. Anything else on Western? The last thing I have, today I had a recovery transition meeting with FEMA, which is a fancy way of saying we are finally done with FEMA, but we are still dealing with the state of Iowa from the floods of '24. So the recovery transition just means we're transitioning away from FEMA activity and into Iowa Homeland Security activity. We're getting close. I've got just a little bit of documentation that needs to be finished up, or we've got a little bit of documentation that needs to be finished up. We had 7 projects total. We ended up with a qualifying cost of right around $520,000, and we are anticipating getting back about $465,000 of that 520. So while it's been lengthy and a little painful at times, it's been certainly worth the time. Not that it really matters, but in the very beginning of the disaster, you guys had approved us hiring a consultant to help us through the process. We did invite that consultant to the first couple of meetings, and to be honest, with them not being boots on the ground, they really didn't know anything about the project, so we ended up handling all of the work with FEMA internally. So, which was fine. It's a time-consuming process, but well worth it. So hopefully Angie has received multiple deposits already, and there's another 230-some thousand just got obligated. So If you don't have it yet, you should be getting it soon. You think you have? Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have unless you have questions.
Anyone, questions for Todd? All right, moving then on to Tanya, anything you'd like to share with us today? All right, Eric, anything from you?
Just to echo Todd's comments, for people to please have patience and use your head and listen to the flaggers on Highway 18, because it's been quite a haul already, and we still have another, so.
Very good. Angie, anything you have?
No, thank you.
Council to my left, anything from you guys? And to my right? All right. And I have nothing, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Egger.
Aye.
Ostrov.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Snyder.
All right.
Hamel.
Aye.